All right, welcome back for another video. I'm actually recording with Blue-Black Wasteland Tempo Doomsday for the challenge tonight. I decided to copy Ford's list. It's not exactly to my taste. I'm not a huge fan of only one Lotus Petal. I like more fast mana for Tameo flips, combo potential, etc. But I'm going to give it a shot. It's got one Barragoyf and one Murktide and one Bowmaster as the creature split, which I've always felt like kind of random. I like having a very succinct game plan where I'm always looking for kind of the same cards, and if they're not good enough to have all the time, then I don't really want them in the deck. But I know Neville Shoot plays a little bit more random kind of creatures like this, so let's give it a go and see how it goes. And yeah, the round will be up shortly, so see you in round one. All right, we're on the play against Ringo Death Star. They're usually like a prison player, but I haven't played them recently, so I'm not really sure what they're on. Let's open up a hand. This hand seems fine. It's got Consider plus Surveil to find a Doomsday, and it's got Consider plus Surveil to find a Doomsday, and it's got Counter Magics, and it's got stable mana. So let's give it a try. We'll play our Polluted Delta and pass the turn. Lotus Petal. I wonder what they're playing. Maybe this is Storm. Oh, Goblin Welder. Okay. Well, let's get our Undercity Sewers. We'll let the Welder resolve. This is going to be a tough matchup. There's the Doomsday. So we can get an Unearth in this pile just in case something goes wrong. And then we can just get like a couple Cyclers here. So we can do something like so we can Surveil away. We can Surveil away Thassa, draw Street Wraith, and then into Cavern. That doesn't really work. I think we should just make this another edge if we're going to do that. What does this do? So Surveil away Thassa, edge, Unearth. Yeah, I think this is fine. So we'll go Cavern, Unearth, Thassa. Oh, I butchered that a little bit. Oh well. I butchered that pile a little bit. I was supposed to Surveil away Thassa. Surveiling away Thassa makes Blast not matter. Let's cast this Surveil. They'll likely blast this. That's fine. And then we can just cast the Thassa, and then if they can deal with it, then we can Unearth it. Yeah, I'm just gonna force to play around Monkey. To play around Spirit Guide. Okay. We got game number 1 against Painter. We take those. All right. I like Barragoyfs against Painter. I like the removal against Painter. And I don't like Dazes against Painter. I'm not really a fan of Murktides against Painter. Brazen Borrower is a little close because sometimes they play Bridge. So I'm trying to think. I think I can cut a Murktide. And I think Tamios are like kind of anemic because of Pyroblast. So maybe I can bring in the second Bowmaster or Dothy. Maybe it's Dothy's. And maybe instead of Dothy, I'm just trying to think of what I cut. Maybe I can cut a second Surveil land. It's a little bit anemic in the matchup. Let's try this. Okay. You don't want to cut Cyclers because you need to alternate colored Cyclers. All right, we got stuff. Let's try it. We got removal. We got basics. It's a little annoying that I have to push a welder. I think I am just going to push the welder off swamp here. I know I could wait a turn, but I don't want to give them engineer opportunity. If they engineer, I'm in a lot of tough, like, I'm in some tough shape. Blood Moon's a problem. Okay, Painter Servant. Are they going to blast my land? No. Okay. Let's fetch an island and cast a Ponder. I don't really want these. Bitter Triumph's good if I get to turn. Let's see if I get a turn. Otherwise, I have to edge into a Dark Ritual. Okay, we don't care about that. I'll cast Brainstorm here. Doomsday Fatal Push Unearth. Not bad. So we can put back this Bowmaster and this Unearth. And then we can just Fatal Push this. If they want to blast it, they can. We're still not under enough pressure right now, so, and they're down to one card in hand. Force of Will Barrowgoyf is excellent. So I'm going to pick up the Force of Will first and then the Barrowgoyf. Because unless they find an Urza's Saga, this Force of Will plus Barrowgoyf is going to be perfect. If they find an Urza's Saga, I'm in some trouble, but without Urza's Saga, this Barrowgoyf is going to reign supreme. I have to force this. And I will pitch Edge of Autumn. I think I will just destroy this. Because I'll gain the life back from Barrowgoyf in a turn. Alright, so picking up Force blue card seems okay. I'll pick up blue card first. Then I'll pick up Force of Will. And then this Barrowgoyf should be able to stabilize. If they find an Urza's Saga, I'm in some trouble. But anything besides Urza's Saga, I'm fine. Even another Painter is fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think we're good from here. We have Force of Will back, and we have a Barrowgoyf now, which is going to invalidate all the attacks that they've just done. And they're on 2 lands. So now we get to undo everything. And now they have to start chump blocking, I think. They're not. Pick up an Orcish Bowmaster or Street Wraith. I guess it's probably Street Wraith, huh? Are they just conceding? Yeah, okay. Beating Painter 2 excuse me, beating Painter 2-0 is not something that normally happens, but we did it. All right, I will see you guys in round number 2. All right, welcome back for round number 2. We are about to pop into it. We are against Poner 01 Isaac. I don't know what they play. We opened a Days Protected Doomsday. If we get Thought Seized, we're in some real trouble. If we get Chaliced, we're in some trouble. But aside from those 2 things, hand's pretty good. So let's keep it. I guess also not getting killed turn 1 would be ideal. Let's keep it. Let's see what they mold the 6. This list only does have 1 Thassa's Oracle in it, so it is worth remembering, like, if we put it in, if it's on our hand, we may have to put Unearth to protect against getting Thought Seized or something like that post Doomsday. It's a possibility. Looks like Energy. Thought Seize is rough. Cabal Therapy. Okay. Let's see if they name Force of Will or what they name. Brainstorm, maybe? Brainstorm or Force of Will are pretty safe. Yeah, there's Force of Will. They're going to be upset when they see this Doomsday. Let's say I'd like a Solitude or no. Solitude doesn't work. All right, let's cast Doomsday. And then we just got to think for a second, because they can therapy my Thassa's Oracle. So I do need to put the Unearth in my pile. So we'll put the Unearth in the pile. We'll put a basic Swamp. No, I guess we can just put an Underground Sea. A fetch land. And then a couple Cyclers. So if we don't have to do anything, then we get to get Thassa's Oracle next turn. And if we do have to do something, then we can just cycle into Unearth. Yeah, this seems fine. Okay. So let's put Unearth here. Underground Sea. Unearth. Misty. Edge. Street Wraith. And then we can... yeah, we're fine. So we can consider a way if they don't wasteland us, or we can just cast Thassa's Oracle. We have Days for Bowmaster. We have Wasteland for them, so we have quite a bit covered here. They're going to wasteland us. Yeah, that's fine. So we can just wasteland them back. This is actually kind of problematic because I can't actually cast Thoracle from my hand, but I'm pretty confident they're going to therapy it. I may have messed this up, but let's see if they therapy my Thassa's Oracle. If I was a betting man, I would say they will therapy my Thassa's Oracle. But I did not consider Wasteland plus not being able to cast Thoracle. That was a mistake. Here's a Johnny. Let's see if they do it. Yeah. Let's see it. Name Thassa's Oracle. Yep, perfect. All right, cool. So now we can just win. So we can draw fetch, cycle into Unearth, and then go from there. Yeah, I did not account for not being able to cast Thassa's Oracle. That was pretty poor of me, but that's okay. All right, let's fetch down to 1 card. Let's cycle into Unearth, and then let's unearth this Thassa's Oracle. Okay. All right, so we want some removal. The Bowmasters are good. The Fawns are good. Not Dothy. We can cut Murktide. We can cut Barrowgoyf. Let's see what all the removal looks like. And then they are playing red, so they can't have Blast. I think we can cut one of the Surveil lands. They're a little slow. And I think these Brazen Borrowers are a little too slow. And on the draw, maybe these Dazes are too slow. I could trim a Wasteland and keep it a second Daze. Let's try that. All right. This hand seems fine. Ponder can help find a way to win. Deafening Silence is... Oh, it's Ocelot. Okay. That's not as bad as Deafening Silence in this situation. All right, let's ponder. Oh, okay. So we can flip Tamiyo and plus it. That's pretty good. and we can keep up days. So it's bad against Pyroblast. It's good against a lot of other stuff. We can beat Flute because we have the days. We're really just soft to Pyroblast here. We have days for Bowmaster too. See if they just play Bowmaster here. Oh, Cat. Yeah, I think this is too aggressive of a threat, so I think I'm just going to daze this. All right, so if I surveil into a Doomsday here, I can actually do some cool stuff. So let's try. I don't really care about a Force of Will. I'm just going to plus this and move on. And then basically I need to find a removal spell in case they have a Bowmaster before I ult my Tamiyo. Wasteland's fine. I'm just going to let it go because if they have a Bowmaster, I don't want to grow it. Okay. There's a Thought Seize. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't want to, if they had Bowmaster, I didn't want them to get the extra ping plus the power because right now they can't profitably attack. But if they had Bowmaster, they could profitably attack. Wasteland's very good here. This means they have to have another land in order to threaten a Bowmaster. Or to threaten Flute. Or Blast. Like they have to have a land. Yeah, they don't have it, so looks like we got Energy 2-0 also. Sick. I'll see you guys in round number 3. All right, back for round number 3. We're against Fatumi, Gnome Doomsday player. Let's see if we can take it home. All right, I think Thoughtseize is fine here. Sorry about this. I was finishing a match in between rounds, and it's causing MTGO to go a little crazy. All right. All right, so he took Tamiyo. So I think I'm going to cycle here. Looking for a Doomsday. Daze is pretty good. I'm going to put this Bowmaster into play here. I have Daze plus Force plus Murktide, and I think that I want to start putting pressure on him. He's usually a Turbo Doomsday player. I'm going to force pitch Brainstorm. Now I'm in a good spot where I can draw a land and play a Murktide Regent. I'm going to Daze this, I think. I think I just want to leave them in the dirt. I want to leave them under a lot of pressure with low resources. And this does that. This puts a lot of clock on them. There's the island. So that does protect them against Wasteland. Not dazing does mean I can't Murktide here, but I think that that's okay. Surveil's nice because it doesn't punish me for not being able to Wasteland. There's the Wasteland. I'm going to keep that. I think it's better than a random draw, and I can jam the Murktide next turn, or I can Wasteland them depending on what they do. Like if they Doomsday here, then I can Wasteland them. And if they don't, then I can just jam Murktide. Oh, there's Cavern. Okay. Dragon. So they can play a 6/6 Murktide. I have a 6/6 Murktide as well. Or is there's only 5/5? No, it's 6/6. Okay. I have to think now. I think I'm ahead, so I'm going to play a 6/6 Murktide as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll also play a 6/6. If they have another Daze, it's really punishing. But if they don't, I'm in some good shape. And now they can't really attack. But then they have to block, which just puts them in an awkward spot. So I get to attack here. I get to be the aggressor because their life total is lower. They're blocking. I'll play Wasteland and threaten this so they can't Surveil. And if they do Surveil, then I get to Wasteland. I'm going to just see what they do with it first, and then I'm going to do this through a Bowmaster here. Barrogoyf's great. And then I'll Wasteland them. I do need to draw another land, but I think that that's okay. Okay, so they need to have another Murktide Regent here. If they don't have another Murktide Regent, then I'm winning. And if they do, I can still Barrogoyf, and then they'll have to chump at some point. Okay. So let's send in the boys. I think that it's fine. If they have Bowmaster, they can kill my Bowmaster anyway. So I think I'm just sending this in regardless. Now blue cards are good, or a land for Barrogoyf are both good. All right, we got game number 1. Perfect. All right. Okay, so we have to decide whether we think they're going to be on Doomsday at all. I think that Bringing in a couple consigns is maybe a possibility, but I think that we mostly just want to get rid of all our Doomsday stuff. So let's get rid of all of our Doomsday stuff. And then let's bring in the Fawns so we don't die on turn 1. And then we can maybe cut like some dazes on the draw. Something like this. And then we can cut like a Wasteland, another daze. And then maybe like a Dark Ritual. Let's try something like this. I'll be right back. All right, so this hand's susceptible to a fast Doomsday, but it's got most of the other stuff we need. If they want to Daze a Thoughtseize, picking up their Surveil land, that's generally good for me. I just have to decide whether I want to get Wastelanded, and I think it's fine. I have the Fetch into Fatal Push to deal with any of their early threats. And again, if they want to Daze the Surveil land, they're losing a lot of tempo. Oh, they're playing green. Okay. So I could take, excuse me, sorry, I apologize. So I could take the Barrogoyf and just leave them with nothing. The Carpet gives them infinite mana. I think I'm just going to take the Carpet. I have enough threats to keep jamming threats. They have Carpets, which are problematic for just continuing to be able to put pressure on me. And if they commit a bunch of stuff to this Barrogoyf, then I can potentially interact with it. Like if they go land, Petal, Barrogoyf, and then force me, they're going to get to connect once, which is a little scary. But they're going to play more conservative than that, so here's a Brainstorm. Let's see if they found another Carpet, or like a Thoughtseize or a Ritual plus a Barrogoyf. Looks like a Carpet or a Cantrip. Okay, that's fine. We're actually fine with that. One of the things I can do is main phase of Bowmasters here. It incentivizes them to potentially counter it. And if they don't, then it protects me from Barrogoyf, even if they force my Fatal Push for a turn. So it buys me a little bit of time, which is kind of nice. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to main phase a Bowmaster here. I want to make that awkward for them so they can either force this Bowmaster or they can hold the force for the Barrogoyf push. But holding force for Barrogoyf push is pretty is like worse for me, but this protects me against Barrogoyf for the short term. So I think that I'm okay with that. Like if they just jam a Barrogoyf here, I have push or my own Barrogoyfs. Murktide's a little scarier here, but my Barrogoyfs will put quite a bit of pressure on them. Here's a Barrogoyf, okay. So I can... Ooh, now I can just push. So I can Surveil here to tell me if I'm going to find a blue card off Brainstorm. It's kind of cool. I do. If they have a Daze, I'm in some trouble here, but I think we trim on Dazes. And that Wasteland's going to be good too. So I can force back, and then I can hide these Barrogoyfs. And then I can wasteland them. If they have a daze, it's a problem. Okay, Force of Will's not a problem because they have no cards left in hand and I have a million Barrogoyfs. Now I just have to decide whether... So now I just have to let this all go. I'll chump and then I'll start spamming my own Barrogoyfs plus Unearth. So I just need them to not rip insane and I need to just start casting my spells that I have already in my on top of my deck. And I stack this so I'm Thoughtseize proof right now. All right, so if I do this, this means that they can no longer so they could connect if they had like a removal spell that doesn't or that doesn't care about like fatal push, like removing something. But I can just trade here. If they didn't draw another threat, they're not going to attack. If they drew another threat, then they may attack. But either way, I can slam double Barrogoyf next turn with Unearth. So if I'm blocking 100% of the time because I can go Barrogoyf, Unearth, Barrogoyf. Yep, we'll block here. And now we can Barrogoyf, Unearth, Barrogoyf. Let's see if they have a counter spell. They don't. All right, we're going to send this. If they have a Bowmaster, they could kill it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And if they miss a creature here, they just concede. All right, GG's. All right, we 2-0'd the Tempo Doomsday mirror, so that's round number 3. All right, I will see you guys in the next round. All right, we're here for round number 4. We are on the play against Caboosinator. They've been playing a lot of blue-black, maybe Reanimator or something like that. We'll kind of see. This hand's a little close, but with the Surveil land and the daze, I think I'm going to keep it. It's a little susceptible to Wasteland, Thoughtseize, stuff like that, but it's okay. We can graveyard this, and if we get Wastelanded, we just have to hopefully draw land. If we don't get Wastelanded, then... Oh, okay. We should be chilling here, then. Hopefully we draw land here. That would be huge. Okay. So now we need to decide... We can ponder for a land, and then we can use the second Dark Ritual to play a Bowmaster to slow them down quite a bit. All right, so we can go this, 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 and then we can go Doomsday and then post-Doomsday. So this plays around days, and then post-Doomsday we can just play a Bowmaster if we want to. So they need double counterspell. And if they let this resolve, now it needs to be double force. Because days isn't going to be enough. And if they do have that, we have a Murktide now. Okay. So this resolves. We can get Thassa, Edge, Street Wraith, Cavern. And then we just have to decide whether we want to be able to beat double Wasteland or not. I'm just trying to think if we want to be able to beat double Wasteland. I think we should. And then we can just convert this Street Wraith to a Consider. And we can consider mill away the land if we need to. All right, let's try this. All right. And then we can go like Thassa, Cavern, Edge, Island, Consider. And then we can cast Bowmaster here. And we can daze their Bowmaster. And we have a way to beat double Wasteland. They shuffled. Okay, they conceded. Cool. We got game number 1 against blue-black. Probably Tempo Control or Tempo or Reanimator or something. All right. We won with Doomsday. I think I'm just going to board out all my Doomsday stuff for game 2, and then on the play I might board it back in. And I'm just going to bring in all these threats. And all the removal. And then what more do I need to cut? I can cut a Wasteland. And then I can cut 3 dazes on the draw. Probably. Oh, I can cut Lion's Eye Diamond. And then I can cut a couple dazes. Something like this. 4, 8, 12, 14, 15, 16. Sorry, I have to minimize because the Oracle's messed up. How many blue cards do I have? 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 22. I'm good on blue cards. All right, let's try this. Excuse me. This hand seems fine. It has cantrips. It has access to basic island, basic swamp. Well, basic island plus ways to find basic swamp. Has some counter magic if they have a combo draw. This seems fine. Let's see if they Thought Seize. It's actually okay to get Thought Seize when we're this when they're low on cards. I think I'm just going to lead on this Undercity Sewers. It incentivizes them to Wasteland us. I think I'll put this Brazen Borrower on top. I have this Long Goodbye for a Tameo, which is good. The biggest thing I'm scared of if they are like a Reanimator deck and they can protect, put something into play pretty quickly. This Long Goodbye helps deal with Barrowgoyfs and stuff, so that's good. Milling over a land, interesting. All right, let's see if it's like a Dothy or a Bowmaster. Oh, they're playing white. Okay. Stoneforge. Lavinia. Yeah, that's fine. So I can actually hold up Long Goodbye plus Force of Will, which will kind of keep them guessing. So it's like an Esper tempo deck. I'm gonna end step kill this, and hopefully it incentivizes them to just like play a Bowmaster out, and then I can Bowmaster their Bowmaster. Yep, here's a Bowmaster, and now I can Bowmaster their Bowmaster, and I have force backup. The only annoying part is I can't cantrip first. So this is like a little bit annoying, but I think it's okay. If they have daze, I have to force. If they have force, I have to force. But both are fine. Yeah, that's perfect. Now I can force pitch force. I have Borrower if they have a Murktide Regent. This turns off their ability to Kaito. And if they don't have another Bowmaster, then I can cantrip freely and get out of this land situation I'm in. See if they stock up or something. Quantum Riddler, that's fine. That's going to do a lot of damage to them. We're in a good spot. I have to decide whether I want to ponder or brainstorm here. Since I like all my cards, I think I'm incentivized to ponder. Another counter magic or Thoughtseize would be good. More lands are also good. Swords. Sure. Let's brainstorm here. A daze would be... I boarded out my daze, but I think I would force it. Okay. We'll put back Dark Ritual. We'll put back Brazen Bar, and then we'll shuffle these away. We'll let that resolve. And then we'll draw a card. I think I did that. No, I did that fine. All right, now let's look for a blue card or a land. Force of Will's good. They only have 2 cards in hand. I think I like picking up the Force of Will. And then I can pick up the Wasteland, and I have another Ponder to bail me out of... I have another Ponder to bail me out if they Wasteland me or something. And if they don't Wasteland me, then I have Murktide plus answers to their Murktide. So I feel pretty in control. Okay. So I can cantrip for a Barrowgoyf here since I have a Wasteland, or I can cantrip for another land. I don't think I want any of these cards. I think I'm just going to leave this Wasteland to bounce a threat if they play it. And it also turns on if they have a Barrowgoyf, it turns on Revolt. This resolves, and then I'll just Fatal Push it. I'll let this Murktide resolve because mine's bigger and I have answers to it later. Yeah, mine's gonna be way bigger. Mine's going to be huge. And then I have a bounce spell for it next turn to proactively kill them. And I have a Force of Will to protect. So I feel pretty good. They only have one card. I'll Force of Swords. I'll force Quantum Riddler. I'm not going to Wasteland because I don't want to turn on Daze. I'm going to do this. That's fine. So now they need land, plus they can only get one card, so they actually can't find enough cards to survive this. So we're going to take this match 2-0. Nice. Because they only get to keep one card. And Wasteland doesn't matter. I just bounced their Murktide. GG's. Cool. We are now 4-0. Let's see if we can make it to the top 8. I'll see you guys in the next round. All right, on the play for round number 5. We're 4-0 right now. Likely up against some sort of Ancient Tomb deck, whether it's a Affinity or Eldrazi. Let's see how we can do. All right, well, we opened the nuts, so let's do it. All right, they mold the 6. Let's see if they keep 6. Excuse me. All right, let's jam Doomsday here. And then we'll talk through what we want to do. All right. It probably is Eldrazi if they're just F6, but let's take Thassa. Let's take Cavernous Souls. Let's take Street Wraith. Consider Underground Sea. So this seems fine. All right, so we're going to play out Lion's Eye Diamond. Then we're going to just set up a way to kill if we can. Otherwise, we'll kill the following turn. So let's go Underground Sea, Cavernous Souls, Thassa's Oracle. Are they conceding? I can't tell. No, it's not. It's just not loading. Okay. Consider Street Wraith, and then let's play out Lion's Eye Diamond, and then we can pass. Let's see if they Wasteland us or if they hold up command, if it is Eldrazi. City of Traders. Lotus Petal. So command can't exile a command cannot exile a Thassa's Oracle right now. So I think I'm just going to hold this and do this. I guess I could have played Dark Ritual to play around Flute. All right, and now we can just cast this, and they can make me draw, but they can't exile it. Okay, we got it. Yeah, this is definitely Eldrazi, City of Traders plus. Is it? I think Eldrazi plays City of Traders. I don't think Affinity Stompy plays City of Traders. Yeah, Affinity does not play City of Traders. Eldrazi does play City of Traders. Or do they? Does Eldrazi play City of Traders? I guess not. What are they playing? Oh, okay. Yeah, Eldrazi does play a couple City of Traders. All right, so let's bring in the Barrowgoyfs. Let's bring in the Murktide Regents. Let's bring in the Fawns. Let's bring in the Consigns. Let's bring in the removal spells. And then let's sit here and talk about some stuff real quick. All right, so we don't need Bowmasters. We don't need Tamios. They're not very good against Eldrazi. Thoughtseize is not great. I think we can cut one Thoughtseize and just leave one in the deck. Brazen Bar is pretty okay. The second Sewers is probably not good. Dazes are not good. It's bugged right now. This Tamio's in our sideboard. So then I just think we need to think about whether we want Lion's Eye Diamond or Cavern or what else. I think I'm going to cut Thoughtseize. And then I think I'm going to cut one Brazen Bar. All right, let's try this. It says we have 61 cards, but we have 15 on our sideboard, so we're at 60. Let's try and take it down. All right, we're on the draw for game number 2. Let's see what we open. All right. This is soft to a Chalice of the Void, but it's a kill through anything else. If they have Disruptor Flute, it's a kill. So if they have Chalice, I'm in trouble. They don't. So I think they're just dead. Unless they have Mindbreak Trap, they're dead. So we can go, oh shit. That's a problem. So I think we need to get a Lotus Petal for Consign here. Okay, can we do something with Unearth? We can. We can do something with Unearth. So we can actually just crack this for black. Or crack this for black. Cycle. Does this work? So how does this work? We can... this is a poof. Hmm. I think I just pick up Force of Will. And then I can do the Unearth thing next turn. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, let's try this. Okay. So we will play out Lion's Eye Diamond. Here, 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 this, and then this. We would win here if we just didn't draw exactly Oracle for turn. So, but that's okay. Sometimes it'd be like that. Temple, Thought Not Seer, Fleshraker. Yeah, let's force this. And then this hopefully is okay. Okay, so now we should be good. So we can do this, do this. And then we can unearth. And we win. Cool. 5-0. 5-0, 10-0. I will see you guys in the next round. All right, back for the last round. We're 5-0 right now, playing for the 6-0. We won the die roll against Goblin King. They play a lot of Turbo Reanimator, so let's see if we can make it happen. This hand seems good. We have the Doomsday. We just need to find the mana to cast it, and we got some counter spells, so let's see if we can put together some... So we could play Tamiyo and start drawing cards and then play the tapped land. I don't hate that. It's a little slow, but I think taking a shuffle and missing a land drop is worse. So I think that we'll do this. Therapy on Force of Will is a problem. Unmask is less of a problem. I should have picked up the land, not the Tamiyo. That was just an oversight. See if they unmask Grief, something, or not Grief, Grief's banned. Unmask or Therapy, we have to Force of Will. Unmask, we don't have to Force of Will. We can mill the... I guess we can mill this, and then we could cast Ponder, because we just need a Dark Ritual. Is that better than Tamiyo? I think it is. Okay. So we can pick up 2 more blue cards. We can pick up another Tamiyo and then Ponder. And now we're pretty... insulated here. Surveil into a fatty is obviously the worst thing that could happen to us. They have 8 of them or something. It's pretty bad if they do that. Fuck. Yeah, there they go. Okay. This is going to be a hard game. We have to force a therapy. We don't have to force an unmask. 3 forces is hard if all they have is actual discard spells. It's going to be really hard for them to go through that. They might take the Doomsday. We didn't shuffle our Ponder. If they don't take the Doomsday, they might be scared. Which is interesting. Like, not taking Doomsday is a bit risky, I guess, is what I'm saying. They took a force. Okay. Let's see if they start jamming Reanimates. We can Ponder for Dark Ritual. Put Doomsday on the stack. I'm going to let this go. Whole force. We still have the draw to Ponder for Reanimate, or Ponder for Dark Ritual. Let's see if they have Shallow Grave again. Okay, so we need to Ponder for Dark Ritual now. If they don't have Shallow Grave, we should be fine if we find a... Huh. I think I'm shuffling. This island's useless. Thoughtseize is okay. Take Faithless Looting. Now we just gotta hope they brick. If they find Reanimate, I'm dead. They can flashback Faithless Looting now. The nice thing is they have to keep it in their hand. So if they do find a reanimation spell, we still have the opportunity to draw Thoughtseize or Dark Ritual here. All right, we'll keep this in our hand for a Brainstorm. I think they're likely to find it. Yeah, we're just dead. They're going to take Archon? Yeah, okay. The likelihood they find another reanimation spell is pretty high. Okay, so we need like a turn 1 Dothy. Game 2. There's a Reanimate for Atraxa. Yeah, okay. GG's. The hand was pretty good. The Surveil of the Atraxa didn't end up mattering. We just needed to find the fast mana there, and we didn't find it, so. Alright, let's pick up the Fawns. Let's pick up the Dothys. And then let's cut the Barrowgoyf. Let's cut, like, maybe a Wasteland. I don't think we need Unearth. Bowmasters is not great. Brazen Borrower is not great. I'm just trying to think of cards that are not great. I think another Murktide's better than that, and I think maybe Wasteland to cast our spells is just better. I think I like this. We need to be threat dense against them because they're a discard deck. Obviously, opening up turn 1 Doomsday or turn 1 Dothy is the dream. We took our first game loss. Turbo Reanimator is a good one, though. I still feel good in this matchup. I think it's just because they're a discard deck, you can't afford to mulligan super often, which means that sometimes you're just susceptible to how the opening hands line up, because if you take mulligans, you're like ending up putting yourself in worse spots. I wonder if the Unearth is a necessary evil in case we end up with the Thassa's Oracle in our hand. Maybe it is. Maybe it's better than like the swamp or the island. Maybe it's better than the swamp. No, probably the island because of Dothy. No, it's probably just better than the cavern, right? Crap. Okay, well, hopefully I don't get punished for not having the Unearth in my deck. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan this. All right, cool. We can keep Dothy, Dark Ritual, and then a Force. We can just put back a Dark Ritual. Could also put back a land. But because they're a discard deck, I think we're going to put back the Dark Ritual. And let's just cast Dothy. Discard into Show and Tell's a problem. But you can't beat it all. We do have a couple Thought Seizes in our deck, so when Dothy's in play, Thought Seizes become pretty good. We have the Surveil land. This is obviously the dream is Force plus Dothy. I guess Doomsday is also good, but not conceding to this means they probably brought in the Show and Tells. If they discard us, I wonder if they take the Tameo. They probably do. But maybe they take the Force of Will. Faithless Looting. No. Push? Therapy. Okay. That's fine. Surveil with Murktide in our deck is pretty okay. So maybe we'll cobble this one together. Wasteland's very good. I think I'm just going to Wasteland right now. Keeping them off their blue land is pretty good. Seeing as their main way to win is Show and Tell now. They'll Surveil here. So we want like another Wasteland or a Murktide Regent or a Thoughtseize. Those are kind of the cards we're looking for. Need to dodge like Ritual. Okay. That's good. Oh, we have 2 Surveils. Sick. Let's put that in the graveyard. Fawn's good. Fawn is good. We can Surveil again here. We don't need that. I think I'm just going to hold up Fawn right now. Although Brainstorm, they could have Ritual. Bowmaster, which would kill my Dothy. So, because they could have Ritual Bowmaster, I'm not going to cast this Brainstorm. I think it's just not worth it. We'll just play this land so I have access to Brainstorm for a daze. Thought sees me. Yeah, that's fine. All right, they conceded. They see the fawn. Let's see if we can take a game on the draw. It's going to be tough. Looking for like one counter spell plus a fast combo. I think I'm going to bring in the Unearth over the Cavernous Souls. Let's see if we can do it. Bowmasters are like a little concerning, but not the end of the world, I think. Counterspell, turn 1 Dothy, or Doomsday. Okay, this is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Because they're probably not killing us on turn 1. And then they have to choose between Dothy, Thoughtseize. If they take Dothy, we can Thoughtseize them. So I think it's fine. Okay. They'll take our Dothy. The problem is they can reanimate it, but it is what it is. Force of Will is fantastic. We can just take, we can Thoughtseize him here. We can flip Tamiyo next turn. All right, so we could take Thoughtseize. And then we can let them reanimate the... Okay, they miss land. Perfect. Okay. So let's flip our Tamiyo so we can spam Thoughtseize them. Okay. Let's put back Thassa's Oracle and then Brainstorm maybe. Or we could put back Force Brainstorm. Or we could Force Pitch Thoughtseize. Or Force Pitch Thoracle. Okay, I like that better. So let's just put back Ritual Swamp. And then we'll hold... We can play this for Brainstorm, and then we can Force Pitch Thoracle. Because we have Murktides in our deck. I'm going to pick up Thoughtseize here. And I'm just going to Thoughtseize them. So we can just take a Show and Tell. And then we can Brainstorm next turn. We still have Force Pitch Thoracle. There's the land. So now they can reanimate our Dothy. We got to find like a Murktide region to clear the Dothy out of our graveyard. That would be very good. Wasteland's also fine. Mind Break Trap. Okay. I'm going to clean up this graveyard in 1 second. Or their hand in 1 second. Oh, wait. Okay, so we found Fetch Land. So we can look for Doomsday here with this Consider or a Murktide Regent. Doomsday, okay. So now we can plus this, and then we can cast Doomsday. So this is their hand. Thassa's Oracle. Unearth. Edge. Thoughtseize. Another Doomsday? It doesn't really matter. Let's just do this. So we can edge into Thoughtseize, pick it up. So we can go like Doomsday, Unearth, Thassa, Thoughtseize, Edge. And then we can just force the reanimation effect. Well, there's no reanimation effect on our Dothy anymore, so we just force whatever they do. They're gonna Thoughtseize themselves. Yeah, we'll force that. All right, and then we can just edge Thoughtseize. Doesn't matter. Pick up Edge. Make a blue. Play Thassa's Oracle. GG's. Got the nice clean 6-0. We lost a game to Turbo Reanimator on the play, on game 1, which sometimes that happens, you know. We got the 6-0. Cool. I will see you guys in the top 8. All right, we're back for the top 8. We're in the first seed, so we're on the play against Farmer. Farmer's been on either Beans or Painter, so let's see how it goes. Okay, we'll keep this. Oh, Yorion, okay. We'll just get a basic island here. Actually, yeah, we'll get a basic island here. Dark Ritual, Days, Wasteland, sick. So we'll pick up the Dark Ritual first. Or Days first, then Dark Ritual, then this. Hopefully he casts like a Tameo on turn 1 and we just get to jam this Days Proof and Days Protected Doomsday. Okay, perfect. Oh, DNT. Okay, DNT. Perfect. Dark Ritual, Doomsday. And then we can just pick up Cycler's Oracle. If he plays Port, I lose doing this, but I guess I can just put a Lotus Petal instead of Unearth and then give myself an out to that. So we'll hit done. I don't care about Bowmaster, so We'll just do this, 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 and this. And then we'll just pass the turn. I should have thought about the order if we got Thought Seized. I should have drawn the Cavern. So this is like slightly bad. We're going to cast a Considerate End Step and just let him Bowmaster me. Oh, okay. Into the graveyard. And then we'll draw. We got to leave the island for the days. Wizard and cast Thassa's Oracle. Okay. Got game number 1 against D&T. Let's go into the sideboard. All right, so in the sideboard, we want Fawns for Thought Seizes and Deafening Silence. We want some removal spells. And then Bowmaster's fine. Murktide's bad. What else is bad? Daze or Brazen Borrower are probably bad. Let's go Brazen Borrowers are bad. This Barrowgoyf is bad. Thoughtseize is not great, but it's not the worst. The Unearth's good because of Disrupt Their Flute. And this Cavernous Souls can get cut for another removal spell. Let's just bring in the Long Goodbye. Alright, let's open Counterspell plus Doomsday. See you in game 2. Alright, we are a little soft to a Thoughtseize, but I think that's okay. Deafening Silence is not great, but it's fine. Fatal Push is okay. We have a Daze here, which is not horrible. Let's just go Island Tamiyo. Actually, let's go Underground Sea Tamiyo. He could Wasteland plus Swords, but we need triple black to cast our Doomsday, so I think we should play into Wasteland here. Aetherval's fine. We just need another land. Then we can Fatal Push on their turn. So we need another land and then we can Fatal Push on their turn or Fawn on their turn. Let's see if they have a Swords. They don't. There's the Swamp plus the Cycler. So we can put back Wasteland plus Tamiyo. Plus this. And then we have Fawn or Fatal Push. Wasteland's a problem. They fetched so they can draw Wasteland. No, Wasteland's good. Overlord. Yeah, we can't do anything about that. Get back Stoneforge, probably. It doesn't really matter. Can we win with Edge, pick up Edge? I don't think so. But we can pick up a Force of Will. Let's Surveil here. We don't need another Fawn. cast Doomsday. Can pick up. We need an island. I guess we don't need an island. What if we pick up a surveil land? Does that work? What does this do? So let's see. All right, so this lets us cycle into Force of Will, edge into Thoracle, edge into Sewers. Yeah, I think this is fine. And then this lets us play through a flute. So let's go Island, Sewers, Thassa, Edge, Force of Will. Let's cycle into this. We'll plus our Tamiyo, and then we'll pass. And this doesn't lose to flute because we can force plus Tamiyo in the same turn. Or force plus Oracle in the same turn. Because Deafening Silence only stops more than one non-creature spell. They put Recruiter in the graveyard. They'll probably flute on our turn, would be my guess. One Wasteland, Tamiyo gives us a blue, so one Wasteland doesn't stop that. Stoneforge Mystic for Sash does work. So I'll force this pitch Tamiyo. They can flute now. Bowmaster, that's fine. I don't care about that. So I have the days for the flute. And then we just mill the island. And then we cast Thassa's Oracle. Should be good here. Oops. Okay, I messed this up, but it doesn't matter. I messed this up, but it doesn't matter. I meant to put that in the graveyard. So we can daze this flute. Okay. We did it. See you guys in the top 4. All right, we are in the top 4 against Minya friend John on blue-black tempo. Let's see what we can do here. That's a good one. All right. Now we can find a Doomsday plus Days backup, depending on how this pairs up. Wasteland, okay, that's fine. Let's look for a Doomsday off this cycle. All right, we need a Doomsday, please. Another land, too. There we go. So now we have double Days. Another Wasteland's fine. Thoughtseize is annoying. Wasteland's fine. Please only have one force. Don't have another force. Okay. So we can start with an island, cavern, Thoracle, and a couple cyclers. I have another Days, so this is fine. All right, cool. We're just going to build a pretty simple pile. He's already used 2 Wastelands. Let's go Oracle, Edge, Cavern, Street Wraith, Island. All right. Thoughtseize here is a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. All right, let's see if they have Thoughtseize. They do. Let's see if they take Unearth or Daze. Or Consider. I guess all 3 of them are reasonable. They took the Unearth. Okay. If this resolves, then it's over. It's Jover. Cycle into Oracle. Uncounterable Oracle. On an empty deck. All right. Got game number 1. Let's see if we can take a post-board game. I think on the draw, we just want to be threat dense, so I'm going to cut my my counter spells. Bring in just all my threat density. And removal. And then we can cut a Wasteland. We can cut maybe 2 Tamios. Maybe 3 Tamios. This doesn't map very well, but let's just try this. All right. Yeah, this doesn't map super well. So, Ford, if you're listening, it depends on how you sideboard. If you sideboard like I do, this doesn't map well. If you sideboard maybe how you sideboard, it could. Maybe you cut the last Tameo for another Wasteland. Maybe that's fine, but so you can cast your Barrogoyfs. Maybe that's better. I don't know. I think because they have a bunch of bowmen, Tameo's pretty medium. This matchup's tough, so let's try our best. This hand's great. It's a little soft to a Thoughtseize, but not too bad, actually. Let's see if they Thoughtseize or Tameo on one. Could ponder, but probably not. I'll probably Wasteland them if they Thoughtseize me. I want to give them a shot that they're fetching this because their mana is not perfect. And if this Wasteland's good, then it buys me a lot of time to convert these into more mana. I think they just take Dark Ritual here, but I could be wrong. Okay, they took Doomsday. Alright, let's Wasteland them. They know my hand, so I'm just going to F6. Let's go. We'll play our 1 Tameo. Miss a land one more time, John. They'll have to force this Brainstorm, I think, because they're just too far behind. They don't. Okay, we'll put back LED. Actually, we'll mill LED, so we'll put back like Barrogoyf LED. Plus this, play this, mill LED. Think we can jam a Barrogoyf next turn? Oh, they're dead. Dark Ritual. Varrogoyf. We could look for a daze here, but it's whatever. Ponder. There's a Thoughtseize and a Doomsday. We'll just keep those. Sometimes you just get them with Ye Olde Wasteland. GG's. All right. We got him. All right. See you guys in the final. All right. We're in the finals. Let's see if we can take it down. This person doesn't have any finishes since like 2025. So like at least over a month ago. But last time they were on Mardu token or Mardu energy. So I think that's like the most likely they'll be on, but unclear. I mean, we opened a banger, so let's see if we can make it happen. If they're on a Force of Will deck, this obviously could go horribly wrong, but YOLO. They're not. Okay, so we can get Island to fetch. We can get Thassa's Oracle. We can get Edge. And then 2 more cards. So we have Unearth. We could get Consider if they don't Wasteland us. So we can just win with Consider. And then we can just get like Cavern of Souls just in case they are on a blue deck or something like that. Let me just like look at this real quick. So if we get Wastelanded, we need Island plus another mana source. So Island plus Cavern does that. And then, yeah, this seems reasonable. So we're just going to get done here. We want to be able to cycle into Oracle next turn, or at least consider into Oracle. So let's put the Island back. Let's put the Cavern, and then Thassa. I just need to think. I think this is fine. And if we get Wastelanded, it just delays us a turn, but that's fine. Okay, so we'll just put this on top. And then I will cycle into this. And then we'll just pass. So let's see if they're on Mardu energy. They are. Let's see if they discard us. Yeah, that's fine. They'll probably take the Unearth. They could take the Edge of Autumn, but probably take the Unearth. So the only thing I'm not sure of is I don't think Energy plays Solitude. I'm just gonna look really, really quick. Yeah, they don't play Solitude. Okay. Yeah, they don't play Solitude. Okay, so we can just pass here. And Bowmaster's not going to be enough damage to kill us. Wasteland doesn't matter. Yeah, we just let this go. And then we can cycle Unearth end step to clear our pile. You can cycle Consider or Unearth end step to clear the pile. So we can just go end step, fetch, island, cycle unearth. And then untap and cast Thassa's Oracle. All right. Got game one. Let's go to the sideboard, take a look real quick. They have, interestingly enough, the last list they played didn't have any of the flutes. Flute's one of the most annoying things. They played 2 Rebs, Null Rods, and 1 Deafening Silence. So if they're on anything like this list, this is not a great list against us. Fawns are good for discard spells in case we open a fast Doomsday. They're good against Deafening Silence. Murktide just gets swords or rebbed. We don't really want that. We want removal spells for their fast starts. And Tamios are fine. Cavernous Souls is fine because of Reb. We can cut a Wasteland, and then we can cut the Barrogoyf, same reasoning, it just gets swords. And then I think Brazen Borrower's not worth it. They just don't really have any permanents that I care about, and if they flute, we can always unearth. If you play Jace or unearth, you usually have some sort of answer to beating a flute, so this looks fine to me. So let's send this back and see if we can finish this out. I mean, we're soft to a discard spell, but c'est la vie. We have a Ponder to find when they mold to 5. We got a removal spell also, which is not bad. I have a feeling they're opening a discard spell. Like, you basically can't not open one against me. They'll take the Doomsday, and then we have to convert this Misty Rainforest, or this Ponder, into another Doomsday. Let's see if we can do it. Let's fetch Island here. We have a Daze. I guess we can fetch Underground Sea here because we have the Undercity Sewers. And if they Thought Seize us again and find take the Dark Ritual, oh, there's a Doomsday. This game's easy. Okay. Let's pick up the Doomsday. No shuffle. And then we just need to make sure that we can beat like a flute or a blast. So let's just go Dark Ritual Doomsday. Daze is going to be okay. They could have Wasteland. So let's go Unearth. Consider, Edge, Cavern, Oracle. I just want to look at this real quick. I think I want one more land because I don't think I want to lose to another Wasteland. So let's look at it. I think we can just get rid of the Unearth for another land, and we can just draw Consider for turn. Although if they have Flute, that leaves us no out. Oh, they just gave up. Okay, well, I guess they were done. GG's. The perfect 10-0. We lost 1 game. I'll upload this and, yeah, talk to you guys later.